And up next, file number 23-1109K, again from Finance, resolution approving and adopting the budget modification for American Rescue Plan Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund funded projects, Alexander Park Pickleball Court project. Motion from Alder Lukens, second from Alder Neal. Alder Killian.
I noticed that it says the fiscal impact is $150,000, but down below it says $135,000 plus $25,000. Could you explain that to me, please?
I'll let Mary Ann, there's a grant, there's a grant associated with that from one of our foundations.
Okay.
So that's the $25,000.
Even despite that, just want you to know that because we have so many urgent needs for our residents, basic needs, that I won't be able to support a pickleball court.
Thank you. Alder Neal.
Thank you. I could certainly understand anybody's reticence to support this because, you know, we look at these funds as something to be used for large portions of our constituency. So at first glance, and maybe some years back, I would probably look at this and go, "Oh, this looks like kind of a specialty little, boutique item." But now, with the exploding popularity of this sport, cripes, when I'm at the Y in the morning, there's like 100 people down there playing at once. Well, I'm exaggerating, but it's completely full, and people sitting in the bleachers waiting their turn. It's highly valuable for people to get basic exercise and a competitive opportunity to get out and have some fun. So, I mean, to me, it does, particularly our older generation segment, who are big proponents of this sport. So, I will support this.
Thank you. Alder Martins.
Thank you. When the Finance Committee discussed this item and ranked it, one of the things to consider, or actually a couple of things to consider, is that this tennis court, right now it's a tennis court at Alexander Park, would be closed this coming year because the surfacing, the asphalt surfacing, is in such bad condition that it's unplayable and a safety hazard. So, but when we looked at this last year in the capital improvement project planning, there was at the time it did not meet the ranking to make it through CIP, but there's a groundswell of people that want to see this tennis court resurfaced and restriped into a pickleball court, so much so that there has been some additional grant funding to help with that process. That's why we see the $25,000 grant in this measure. One thing to consider with the ARPA funding is that there are many purposes that we can use this ARPA funding for, and one of them is for outdoor activities, encouraging activities in outdoor spaces, and looking at all of the things that we have approved funding for in the last 3 years. Outdoor activities is probably one of the least of the items that we've approved. We've done this, we've allocated money for the skate park. We've allocated some money for the River Edge Trail, but that is pretty much the extent of it. So I think, funding this, the renovation of this tennis court into a pickleball court would be good for the community. Just on that point alone, I'll be supporting this.
Thank you. Alder Rasmussen.
Thank you. Part of the discussion that we have been having all along with our ARPA allocation, there were a number of core goals when that funding was given to municipalities. Revenue loss was one, but another core goal of that plan was really to find a way to create active outdoor activities where people were not in indoor close contact. And we found that when COVID came to us, there was a need for people to be able to be outside recreating in the open air, not enclosed inside of buildings or inside of gym facilities. And so to promote active outdoor activity, that people did not have to be in an enclosed setting to perform, that was one of our core goals. That's part of where the trail and the skate park drifted to the top in the ranks. Also, we have a goal that we want to be a senior-friendly community. And this is one active activity that appeals to all ages. And so as we look to find recreation activity for all ages that's suitable for everyone, this is one thing that is rather inclusive in terms of participants. I would like to see us move this project forward. I think it's an adequate use for ARPA. In the past, we had scored it for CIP, and the only reason it didn't qualify for CIP is there were things that were at condition critical that had emerged first. So this really would be an appropriate use for those funds that are in keeping with what the government wanted us to do with them when they released 3 or 4 purposes for that money. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Lukens.
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing about outdoor activities, especially coming out of COVID. That's one thing that was really encouraged and good for us to do. But this is in my district, and a couple of other things that I think are important are, as Alder Martin said, that this tennis court was in really bad shape, so it was hazardous and a safety risk. But also, it's right next to Airport Park, and so several years ago, the southeast side of the neighborhood raised funds to redo the playground there, and it's wonderful. Like the neighborhood, the people are very active, and they raise the funds themselves to do that. I mean, I don't know if there was anything at all coming from the city with that, but anyway, they raised the money, and the airport is right there, and they have quite a few activities. They're having more and more that involve the public, and Learn, Build, Fly is right there, so there are families. So it's just, my point is that it's a very well-used park. Lots of people use it, and so I also can understand the concern about there being so many things that we need, but that is why also someone stepped up and donated that other $25,000. So I will be voting for this, and I know that there are many people who are really eager to use it. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Tierney.
Thank you. When I was looking through the packet on this, is this park widely used? Is there a lot of people that come here? Okay, and have you heard from your constituents that they really want this pickleball court? Okay, I guess my concern with this, along with Alder Killian, is it's a lot of money, and there's a lot of things we need. Do we have other pickleball courts at several different parks around the city? I know we do down at River Edge Walk, but is there other pickleball courts that we're aware of?
Anyone from
knows?
Parks here tonight? I don't know the answer to that one.
I believe there are pickleball courts at Marathon Park, right?
And I guess, are those used to capacity?
I believe so, yes.
There, okay. And those were my questions. I was looking at not supporting it because I do think that it's a lot of money that can be used elsewhere. And I guess I wouldn't support it either because I don't see it as a critical need at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Watson.
I sort of like the idea that we're throwing a little bit of money, ARPA funds, towards the Parks Department. and because it had been ranked so highly on CIP, I think a lot of projects had been ranked so highly on CIP. But it seems like we tend to neglect some of those park infrastructures. And it's really aligned well with our strategic goals, cultivating and promoting those natural recreational opportunities. So, I mean, it's really in line with what we're doing. And to Alder Lucan's point, it's not a grant, it was a donation from a local constituent, which I think sort of shows the demand. I mean, if somebody's willing to put up their own funds to match, it's not necessarily a grant we were awarded by the state. So this is just showing a lot of good need, and it really does sort of include those, like Alder Rasmussen says, multi-generational sport. It includes all of our aging population and our youngsters, and we've done such good things with the skate park for our youngsters that it would be really nice to do something for the rest of our nature goers. So I hope we can pass this along. Thanks.
Thank you. Alder Lukens.
Thank you. I just wanted to address a little bit more the questions. Yeah, it is, I guess it's a health, it's a definite health benefit for any age of people, but we, especially a lot of seniors are very much into pickleball, and at neighborhood meetings, people have been asking for it. And so, yeah, the donation, the $25,000 was a donation from a constituent. And it's, Airport Park is right on Lakeview Drive, so it's right by the airport, just down the road from North Central Healthcare. And so it's very widely, or very much traveled. There are always people there, always families there. So it serves, I think it fits very well because it can be, grandparents, parents, children playing on the playground, and then again, Learn, Build, Fly, that really engages students in the school age years. So I just think that I have no doubt it would be very well used, and otherwise it would be closed, the park, because it's hazardous to use. So thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? Seeing none.
You may begin voting. Motion passes 8-2.